Hey there, wonderful family of light. I'm coming here today again to share a beautiful, special, interesting message. I need to share an experience with you first that happened to me today, that I was experiencing today. I went for a run, and guess what? I'm a runner for years in this 3D reality, and I've never experienced this before. But today, when I went for a run, I felt like I'm running for the first time. It's like I had such hard feeling, such heaviness in my chest and my lungs in this area. It's like, I just couldn't run. I felt so heavy. I felt like I'm gonna die. And I'm like, what is this? It's not like, you can just not get used to it anymore, when you don't run for a few days or something like that. If you run for a few years, you just don't become like this, not just like that. There's no reason, I've been having I had a lot of sleep lately and everything was going fine. And I'm thinking, what is this? Why do I feel? I felt like this was my first time run. I'm like one of those people who never ran before, and I felt such heavy feelings. I had to stop for a while, and I was sending my heart some light and silence. Okay, I sat on some water because it was rain, pouring rain, for a few days now, and I'm like, I was all wet. I didn't even think because I was so tired. I'm like, oh, silly me, And then I just went running again. I started running again after, I came into my peace zone and I felt better. And it was okay, but I still felt like, I had to push to run. I didn't enjoy it like I usually do. Because I really love running. Running for me is like the closest thing to flying, and mountaineering is the closest thing to heaven to me. So that's why I do these things, they're like a part of me. But today just something felt heavy. And then I kept asking myself questions, what's this about? And again, it was about, yeah, I kept hearing this sentence, you're changing, we're changing. I said, when I get home, I need to make a video about we're changing. And here I am, Before I started recording, I was guided to do an automatic writing. And this is what I'm going to read to you all now. Because I wanted to know the deeper explanation of this, because I knew it meant something, because I've been going through an intense shift lately in just a couple of days, things changed. Because I had this feeling in my lungs before, like 3 days, I think for now. I have this feeling I breathe differently, this. Of course, I talk about a lot lately of the expansion of the heart, which is going on. It's like our heart chakras are exploding, and I've also been writing about this in my blog yesterday, so do check that out if you're guided to. But I felt like there's something else to it as well, and I kept hearing this feeling like, I feel like I have a new body. Why do I feel like I need to, adjust this new body to all of this? And I said, I need to make a writing about this when I get home, because when I write automatically, I actually, you have to forgive me if there's some mistakes in this, because I don't think when I write, I just write automatically. This is why it's called automatic writing anyway. And probably I make mistakes in my sentences. I just write. I don't think about the grammar and how the sentences are structured. So I'm going to read this to all of you now. And yeah, I need to also say that before I wrote this, I checked the last book that I already made, that's already complete full. This is my old book, my old notebook that has so much of my stuff. It's all full. It has tons of information that I was receiving through downloads of my own inner being, through my higher selves and my I am presence and my guides for me, and some of the things that I was writing then, through Ascension Pioneers. So I was browsing through some of the stuff, and I, just spontaneously opening where I thought I was guided to open the book. And there were some things, that caught my attention. One of them was when I was writing about which cycle I am in at, that was last year. I think it was the similar time. Last year was April, but it was 1 year ago. And I was writing about these cycles that last year in April, in the spring, I was more about the cycle of inner flow. I was opening up to my inner power, to my inner potential, discovering who I am as the self with a capital S. So that's why I felt distance a lot. I removed myself from the outer reality, a lot. I needed to be alone. I need to spend a lot of time in nature alone. And because we're not going through these cycles all together, we each have our own flow and our own pace. So that's why I feel guided to mention this now, because there might be some of you who are going through the same cycle that I was going through last year, because, we all have our own tidal waves to go through in our own unique way, in time and pace. Although there is no time, it's just the individual soul process within the spiral of spirit. So I also said to myself through the writing that this is this is this phase, and that I will be more, public and doing the things I love in public. But this is another phase that is coming that, we'll be talking about now. That's going to be, the stress about that will be later on. And this is now, this is now. And I have to say, this is so important. We each have this individual phases we're going through within the opening to the beautiful butterfly that we are. So you need to follow your own pace. You need to follow your own flow through the divine. You can't compare yourself to others. You say, aha, so my friends are doing this, so why am I in this space now? Because you're doing it your own way, and we're not all doing it synchronistically, although we're all interlinked. That's why I feel guided to say this now. Focus on your phase, step by step, because every step is a part of the procedure of the whole. We cannot push things to happen. We're just within the flow, as we're supposed to be, and that's where true happiness resides. Okay, so I'm going to pose my question that I asked Spirit. I always say dear Spirit because Spirit means all that is. I don't address which consciousness I would like to address, because for me, this is all the consciousness that flows through my being. It flows through my I am presence, through my lower selves, with lower selves within the higher self. That's what I mean. I mean the monad, because when I say we have many higher selves, by that I mean our soul is a part of the soul group, which is a monad, and then you have, the head soul group, head over soul. So within that group, everything there is your higher selves, although your soul is individualized presence as well. So that's why I always say dear Spirit, because I address all parts of me within the wholeness that I am. Okay, just to make you understand. Dear Spirit, I went for a run today and it felt like my first time. It totally did. I had pain and heavy feeling in my chest and lungs. What does this mean energetically? For I felt like I'm receiving a whole new body, big question mark. Okay, here's the reply. Yes, the feelings and guidance you have received about this are correct, and they're coming from your higher self, your oversoul. Let us describe, and by us, that means these aspects within the oversoul, which is all part of me, my being, my own presence. Let's now describe this process more simply now, and in detail present what is happening now to you and many others on this path. You yourself have already noticed the intense sleeping, which is a part of regenerating, and a major heart opening. This was what was happening to me. I slept for hours lately, this past couple of days, I slept for 10 hours or more, which was like, why, why do I need to sleep so much? Well, guess what? So these two, the sleeping and the heart opening, go hand in hand together, for they are part of one same process. As this heart opening is occurring, it actually means we are starting to shift into our higher body, even physically. In spirit, we already exist within all the layers of our being simultaneously. But here in the physical, we are moving our mainstream awareness into the higher octave of our being, the shifted state within a higher frequency. If we imagine this in tones, it is like moving an octave higher into a higher pitched sound frequency, and our whole conscious awareness is moving there. So naturally, when this happens, our physical body follows and changes start occurring. This brings forth many sensations within the physical body, like the different feeling in the chest area you have experienced this week, and sudden pain when going for a run. Although you were a runner in a 3D body for years, your conscious awareness is moving and experiencing things differently in this higher realm of existence. This is a natural process with symptoms that do not last for longer periods of time. Thank God. So do not worry. The adjustment is very natural and spontaneous, and the felt pain vanishes quickly. Indeed, that is why you needed so much sleep lately, for within our sleep mode, we are making this transition in the most easiest way, so the most shifting work is done when we sleep. The rest is done through conscious awareness. So the more we observe our body, all of the feelings and sensations, and commune with our higher selves, the less this process can be uncomfortable for us. When we are aware about the changes and embrace them with love and acceptance, and send ourselves, including these parts of our body, like for instance, my chest area, like you did today. This was during your run and sending light through your palms on your chest, which is what I did. Everything is unfolding beautifully. You sure are changing, and so many others are changing as well. The caterpillar is ready to give birth to a beautiful, colorful butterfly. What a coincidence! Just this week, I posted so many photos of the butterflies. And I asked people, I said, are you ready to become the beautiful butterfly that you are? Just say yes. Anyway, guys, I wanted to share this experience. Maybe a lot of you are feeling something not the same, but similar in your own areas, you know, within your own conscious expansions. I wanted to share, like always, I wanted to provide further guidance because this is what I do. This is what I love doing. So if you have any more questions about this, feel free to ask. Feel free to read my blogs, my articles, watch my videos, or just check my webpage or find me on Facebook. You know where I am. I'm everywhere. So we are all everywhere. I'm wishing you very beautiful expansions within your own consciousness, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.